Mr. Griffith for 5 minutes for questioning.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Your written testimony notes that in the months since January 20th, the Office of Refugee Resettlement, OOR, has implemented policy and operational changes to expedite the release of unaccompanied children. It describes some of these changes, including paying for transportation, sharing information across agencies, and streamlining vetting of sponsors. Will you commit to provide me with a written list of all the policy changes that have been made for this purpose? Yes or no?
Absolutely. Yes, we will do that.
Thank you. In stressing the safety of ORR's efforts to expedite the unification of children with a sponsor, you noted in your written statement that ORR does not eliminate the background checks for parent or legal guardians. Expedited processes or not, I have serious concerns about what ORR considers to be satisfactory background check. 3 weeks ago, I visited Fort Bliss, an ORR facility with 4,500 children at the time I was there at the southern border. I regret not having gone sooner because what I learned there was frankly shocking and disappointing. Staff at the facility told visiting members that potential sponsors must undergo a criminal public records check and in most cases, a sex offender registry check. I asked if they worked with the FBI or other national databases to find information about all sponsors. They said no. Additional discussion about their so-called public records check led me to conclude that ORR relies primarily on widely available internet search engines, sites any of us could access for around $20 a month to vet the sponsors. If a website like Spokio or Checkmate doesn't show evidence of abuse or neglect, the sponsor is approved. That troubles me. The information on these websites is not always accurate or up to date, and legally, it is neglect. To turn your minor child over to a criminal cartel or to send them off on their own for whatever distance and for how many ever days to seek the border themselves. The federal government maintains sources of information that can be used to conduct background checks in a timely manner, including the National Instant Criminal Background Check System, NICS, the National Crime Information Center, NCIC, and the Integrated Automated Fingerprint Identification System. Further, each state's Department of Social Services keeps a list of founded cases for abuse and neglect. But even after I made my frustration and my ire clear, no one there said we are using these on a routine basis. Or, oh yes, we forgot to tell you that in the big meeting. That didn't happen. Our social services systems conduct interviews and home studies when we're evaluating child welfare. Yet ORR is releasing children to people in homes they know little or nothing about. Is that safe? Is that humane? We must not sacrifice children's safety in the interest of an expedited process. These are children, not commodities. While I do not agree with President Biden's immigration policy, I believe that we have an obligation to ensure the safety of children once they are here. And it seems to me that ORR is failing to meet that obligation. All that being said, I would like a complete list of the sources ORR uses to vet every sponsor. And if you need permission or resources from Congress to be able to improve the vetting process, then let me know that too. Can you commit to getting me that information?
Yes, Ranking Member Griffith, we will absolutely get you all of our policies and all of the information about the vetting process.
And to be fair, this is not, from what I've learned, this is not something that you all changed. This is what they've been doing over a number of administrations. That doesn't make it right. I don't think we're checking these enough, particularly when, if we were in any of the juvenile courts that I used to practice in, the courts would say, that's neglect. And then we turn them over. If we don't see something that flashes up on a fairly minor site, particularly when they don't have reference to information from the home country, because they haven't gone to check for it. And sometimes they do if they see a problem, but they don't generally check for that. And so we don't have a complete picture, and I just don't think we're doing it right. And I would ask you as a final question, the budget that you referenced earlier about things that they were going to do better once they were back reunited with their family, that let them go with a criminal cartel that drops little kids over fences. We saw that spot where 2 little girls were dropped over. If that's not neglect, I don't know what is. But does your budget include money for a better vetting process for all sponsors, not just the ones that flag up on the site as maybe having a problem, but ones that have a problem just inherently because they let their children go with a criminal cartel?
So, Ranking Member Griffith, first, thank you for your passionate focus on child safety and for visiting our kids at Fort Bliss. We share with you that commitment to safety and the well-being of children who are in our care and custody. I can assure you that it is not only my personal top priority, but it is absolutely the clear mandate from the Secretary that this is not only our legal but moral obligation to keep children safe. And we look forward to working with you about how we can improve those practices.
Thank you. I yield back.
I thank the gentleman. Chair now recognizes